People who are artisans, who work with their hands, have a tendency to be contemplative and sensory in their approach to their vocation and life. They take much into consideration before beginning a project. Carpenters, especially, are sensing and perceiving, yet precise and analytical as they create, often quiet and purposeful in their approach. They are aware of how different wood grains feel under their touch. They can readily identify wood by its scent or the pattern of the grain. They know which wood would be best for what purpose. I imagine Joseph was this way. Today we have a rare moment to get to know this man, chosen by God to be Jesus' earthly father. And he must have been quite a solid person in character and temperament. From our reading, we know Joseph is engaged to Mary. He was established in his life and work, and we consider him to be older than her. In their time, commitment to one another was the same as marriage, although they had not yet had their ceremony and were not living in the same house. When the word comes that Mary is with child from the Holy Spirit, it is a betrayal of their commitment, a breach of their contractual relationship. The law was clear. He could divorce her or even have her put to death. Imagine for a moment this righteous man, a man in right relationship with God and the law of Torah, working quietly, thoughtfully in his workshop, pondering what to do, determining in his mind and heart what is the right response in this situation. He may have started out in anger and frustration, yet he takes the time to work through his thoughts and into his heart to determine how to deal with Mary. It must have been a struggle as he weighed the law of Torah and the law of the heart, as he questioned, wondered how to respond, to uphold her dignity as best as the situation would allow. He decided to quietly dismiss her. It was uncommon in his day to show compassion instead of upholding the letter of the law. In doing so, he changed common custom. Just as he resolves to quietly dismiss her, the angel of the Lord appears to him in a dream, saying, "Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for the child conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son, and you are to name him Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins." In Joseph taking Mary as his wife, and in naming him Jesus, Jesus is adopted into the line of David through Joseph. The way is opened for Isaiah's prophecy to be fulfilled. "Look, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall name him Emmanuel." God is with us. When Joseph awakened from his dream, he did as the angel commanded him. He even went further by not having marital relations with her until she had given birth, and Joseph named the child Jesus. It is a most miraculous decision for Joseph, and it opens the way for an incredible life, one he probably never expected. He will be led by dreams and angels to protect this child and Mary. He will raise the Son of God, teaching Jesus how to work with his hands, how to build out of wood, and how this gentleman could open his heart to saying yes to God. And we read the prophecy of Isaiah through the wonders of the story of the birth of Jesus and the promised one, the one called Emmanuel, God with us, and named Jesus, Joshua, Yeshua, meaning salvation comes from the Lord. It is through Joseph. Jesus is adopted into the house of David, and we in turn are claimed, received, and adopted into the house of God, receiving new life, hope, love, and peace that comes with belonging. I wonder, Joseph, could you ever imagine the incredible encounters you would have? Angel visitations in your dreams, wise men bringing gifts from the east, the journey far and wide to keep your young family safe, traveling to Egypt to live as aliens to protect this child, returning to Israel when it was once again safe, to carry, to teach, instruct, and love this child as your own. God's own being made flesh in the world. Joseph, could you ever imagine the fullness of desiring to do what is right? In saying yes, you entered into a journey filled with awe and mystery of being father to Jesus, to raising Emmanuel, God with us. In saying yes, you helped bring God's salvation to all. In this season of Advent, have you had moments of encountering God? What might God be asking of you? Is your heart open to saying yes to God once again?